Crouse. In Morning Glory, Canadian sweetheart Rachel McAdams plays an eternally optimistic television producer. That's how we know that this is a work of fantasy, because, like unicorns or a good Matthew Lillard movie, there's no such thing as an eternally optimistic television producer. She may be completely fictitious, but she's also perky, precocious, and fighting for the survival of her morning television show. Now, after being fired from the producer's chair of Good Morning New Jersey, Becky, played by McAdams, moves up to the big leagues, executive producing a network morning show in New York City. Trouble is, the network is IBS, and it cannot be a coincidence that their name is an acronym for irritable bowel syndrome, because their ratings are really in the toilet, and the show is daybreak, a telecast so lowly rated, one observer says that half the audience has lost their remotes and the other half are waiting for the nurse to turn them over. It's her job to whip the show into shape despite the protests of two high-maintenance hosts, the former Miss Arizona, Colleen Peck, played by Diane Keaton, and the third worst person in the world, Mike Pomeroy, played by Harrison Ford. Now, Morning Glory is a screwball romantic comedy that has a sitcomish edge, but is rescued by the charm of its leads. It's a pleasure to see Harrison Ford grumping it up in his first all-out comedic role in some time, and that is if you don't count the ill-advised Indiana Jones reboot, and Diane Keaton has some good bitchy fun here, but it is McAdams who really saves the day. Her effervescent screen presence keeps us interested even when the script is content to rely on predictable, feel-good story turns. Morning Glory often feels like a collection of good ideas that don't quite hang together. The Patrick Wilson love interest angle feels tagged on, and near the end the movie simply becomes a series of montages as various story threads are a little too conveniently wrapped up. But through it all, McAdams shines. And there are echoes of broadcast news throughout. That movie played up the romance a bit more than Morning Glory does, and 23 years ago, when the Albert Brooks comedy first addressed the trend of show-bizzing up hard news to pander to ratings, the hard news side won. This time around, Mike Pomeroy, a seasoned journalist with impeccable credentials, is told by the upstart Becky, "Your side lost," and asked to bring along a camera to his prostate exam. Broadcast news had interesting things to say about television and how TV is changing. Morning Glory doesn't have that same kind of insight, but it does have McAdams, which, for this lightweight comedy, is enough.
Crouse.